Longhairs, welcome to 2023 here at the Longhairs warehouse and HQ. I am Lindsay Bartow, a.k.a. El Moreno, with my business partner and fraternity brother, Chris Healy, a.k.a. El Rubio. It is January the 11th, and this is Let It Ride. Here on episode 18, it's El Jeferinos, the co-founders of the Longhairs. One-on-one, mano-a-mano, hair to hair. And we're talking 2023. We're going to cover what we're pumped on, what the community can look forward to this year, answer some questions from the field, and then get our asses back to work because we got a lot of shit to do around here, man. But first, El Rubio, do you happen to know the Longhair secret handshake?
I do. The too low salute. Yep. But if you don't, and if we happen to see you in the wild, we're going to be terribly disappointed. So make sure you know it. The too low salute. There's a link in the description below. You'll be subscribed to all of our dope content. But more importantly, you'll know the Longhair secret handshake, and you'll be able to greet Longhairs in the wild properly.
Yep. Yes, you will. You're going to want to do that, especially if you run into us, because if you don't know, we're calling you out immediately. All right, dude, let's kick off the show. So, what are you pumped about today?
Today, that I washed my hair this morning. Got a great hair day going. Always get at least one compliment on hair wash days. Got the flow in full effect. The length is coming in. I'm ready to rock.
Nice. You can see I'm still pretty wet. Did a little power clean this morning.
Oh, and then to the air dry combo.
Yeah.
Excellent.
The beanie on top is more just for looks for the pod.
Yeah.
Probably should let it air dry up here too, but we're going to keep the beanie going.
I'm like wearing hats in 90% of our podcasts. I'm like, dude, you got to just let it ride from time
nice
to time.
To see the length there and just the shine and shimmer.
Let it rip, you know? Epic cleanse, ideal conditions combo. You can't beat it.
You just can't. And the Power Clean combo has been, or not combo, but just Power Clean itself. I've been using it about twice a month, more so because I've been, physically exerting myself pretty hard, and a lot of sweat and stuff, buildup going on up there. Just Power Clean does the job. There's a key thing though you got to know. The first day after using Power Clean, you might be thinking like, dude, I don't really like this. Like, it's too light, it's too floaty, it's too clean, right?
Yes.
But just ride it out that first day, and then day 2 is the money day.
Yes.
With the
That's where
Power
you want to
Clean.
be. That chelating action.
Yeah.
Just powers through.
Totally.
What are you pumped about today?
That I'm here. We're doing this 2023 one-on-one podcast. Come on. We haven't done this ever, I don't think. Like, even when it was kind of me and you, we always brought in Chuck or something. So maybe there was one episode out of the 118, but I don't recall.
I can't even remember one, honestly.
So pretty stoked on that.
Yes.
And
had it on the calendar last year or in the idea phase, never came together.
Yeah.
Perfect time to execute.
Yep. Outside of that, just, getting the workouts in, getting the work done. And 10 days into 2023, feeling pretty strong. The momentum's just starting to get going, Long road ahead.
Dude, yes. 10 days in.
Yeah.
On day 11. Right this moment. So what about this month? What are you pumped about for January so far or going forward?
Traffic boners coming in on our Google Analytics. Really, this month, I think just like getting a clear understanding of, we have so much content on our website, guys, and we realize it could be, kind of hard to find specific things, or, if you don't utilize search and stuff, you're kind of just scrolling through a 400 plus, posts
content library
that could be a little overwhelming. But we got, learning a little bit more about how sites need to be structured, especially with the kind of volume of content that we have. And I'm really just looking forward to that whole kind of restructure process, reorg, and then, having the user experience be better so guys can be able to get to what they need to get to faster.
So we've been brushing up on some of the latest tactics and really learning a lot about content authority.
Yeah.
And
Topical authority.
Topical authority, thank you. So not just on the back end and the structural stuff, but also on the front end from the user experience, reconsidering our navigation so that you can find content by topic easier than just using the search. Right now, if you're going through our blog, it's pretty much the search
is kind of all you got.
Search tool, or you're just scrolling, like you said. So laying out our blog so that you can find content by topic a lot easier than how it has been, and just improving the user experience.
Yeah, totally.
With the wealth of content that we've created
exactly.
in the last 8 years.
Hours and years.
Yes.
Thousands of hours.
Yes.
So yeah, that'll be good for the robots and the humans. So.
Fantastic. Just pleasing all the audiences. Love it. That's what we're here to do.
Yeah.
For me, for this month, I am pumped on 7 feet of snow falling in the eastern Sierra mountain range just in the past 48 hours. Almost
it is nuts.
Historic amounts of snowfall over the past month.
Yeah.
As a snow sports enthusiast is the main excitement, but also California has been in a terrible drought for many years, so I hope we could hold on to some of this water. But already got some spectacular skiing in this season in Mammoth Lakes, looking to do some trips to some other western mountainous locations.
Yeah.
And the snowfall in January, they're already ahead of last year's total of 220-something inches. They're over 310 inches so far. Yesterday, Mammoth Mountain was actually closed, which I'm not like
unheard of
40-year veteran at Mammoth necessarily, but I've been going there for a good number of years. Never seen it closed entirely.
Yeah.
They had safety warnings about walking under roofs and how dangerous the snow could be, massive avalanche danger, which is going to take them a while to dig out and get where they need to be. But, man, we're going to be skiing until September at this rate.
Dude, the snowpack is insane all across the state, which is great for California.
And a lot of people are suffering with flooding.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have concerns. No reports from, I don't think, either of our immediate families or communities.
Ernie was getting pretty drowned out in his backyard, actually.
A lot of people saw the video of that rock fall. That was right above Fresno on the 168 going up to China Peak.
Yeah,
they got over 300 inches already. But that was gnarly. Yes. Sending our best wishes out to everyone who's being affected by the historic storms in California. Atmospheric River, Pineapple Express, double whammy cyclone bomb.
Pretty
the
epic.
Exact terminology from the weather service.
Amazing. Speaking of bombs, and it is also peak surf season right now. Winter in San Diego is peak surf season. Not only are the mountains having 20, 15-year snowfall conditions type stuff, but the breaks out here in SoCal, specifically San Diego, last week were absolutely all-time. We're talking, like regular waves coming in 15, 18 foot, and then the big sets coming in 25. Black's Beach even got up to 40 foot. That is big wave surfing in San Diego. Pretty wild.
Go YouTube surf in San Diego immediately and check out some of these. I spent about 7 hours watching surf videos yesterday. No, not quite, but El Moreno sent me the highlights, and it was compelling content, to say the least.
Yeah.
A lot of guys riding them and some sick rides, but a lot of guys just getting shredded.
Not ready for what's going on out there. I mean, you got to really be ready to go out like Sunset Cliffs that big. I mean, I've been out in Sunset Cliffs maybe 8, 10 foot, which is like
huge waves.
And those are big, but for Sunset Cliffs, that's like a great day for the guys who ride Sunset all the time. They're stoked on that. And going out there those days and having a few hold downs in Sunset Cliffs is scary because the water's so deep. So it's not like when it pulls you down, you don't just go and hit the bottom. You get down there to where you could feel your like your board is just vertical, and you're just like looking for your leash to climb back up. So those guys getting hit by those 20-footers, getting sucked down, they were destroyed.
Not breathing for a while.
Dude.
No
gnar.
injuries reported, thankfully.
Yeah, who knows? But unfortunately, we missed it in person. I can't believe we blew that. That's kind of a drop everything, go witness the
Power.
the scene. Yeah, and the power.
Yes.
But there was hundreds of people all lined up on the cliffs, and all the surf magazines were out there, and everything is pretty sweet.
I think there's another pretty fair swell coming in this weekend. I think they're 12 to 14 projected.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't miss it. We should go. We should be out there.
That could
Out
bring
there.
in maybe those 18, 20-foot sets. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll beat last week, but maybe.
All right, so we're going to paddle out.
Yeah. No, I haven't surfed in months. Oh, my God. It would be terrifying out there.
That is just asking for trouble. Pretty strong,
Dude,
guys.
it's the
but,
biggest it's ever been since we've lived in San Diego. Let's go surf.
I haven't surfed in months.
We would not even make it out through the baby whitewater.
Getting sent back. You guys are
Totally.
being sent back.
Oh, man. Okay, so that's, this month, a lot of exciting things. What about, let's hit up one more here. What about for the year? What are you stoked on for the year?
You kind of touched on it a little bit, and I think another follow-up question we might, but just what we have a chance to work on this year for the Longhairs. Last year, moving into the new warehouse, launching all these new products, building our team, everything that we invested our energy and resources into has put us in a position to be right here where we can actually focus on the business and what we're here to do.
Yeah.
Focusing on our content, even from the reorganization standpoint, building out our content calendar further, maximizing the experience for the community, focusing more on the community aspect, building and influencing community, just doing the stuff that we want to be doing, but we were, I don't want to say distracted, but we were pinned down with a lot of pretty big tasks last year at this time. So just what we have a chance to do this year.
Yeah. What we're in the position to make happen. Definitely. Which brings me to, what's on my mind a lot, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more further, but just the Great Cut. Like, this year is the year of the Great Cut. As far as planning, prep, getting you guys signed up, just getting the whole thing in motion. We are so grateful and thankful to have so many of you who have, purchased some of the different various Great Cut shirts and are rocking them proud. That is awesome. Just checking in on your hair length there on the back. But to also have thousands, of people who already know about the Great Cut, who have been planning for 2024, who are pumped for this thing.
Growing your hair
which
out.
is a whole different place than we were last time we did the Great Cut, which was educating everybody on what it is or what, so it's a different position we're in here. Still going to be, a lot of work and stuff, but I think we have an opportunity to really create something special for all the folks who are gonna be there. When I say that too, like beating out the last, we knew the last one was special if you were there. This one's gonna supersede that one.
Very much.
Yeah.
Very much so.
And I mean, personally, just for the year, just really trying to figure out what I'm made of, as far as physically, just mentally. Got a couple races I'm signed up for this year. Big Bear Spartan race, May 20th. It's going down. And then after that, I think I'm going to do the Marathon Spartan, the 50K in November.
Just quick recap. I don't remember if we talked about it in the end of year podcast, but the Spartan race that you completed just a couple of months ago.
Yeah. It was November. I was training up for that. I had done one before and really just got my ass whooped.
What was it, though? 30 obstacles?
It's 30 obstacles, a half marathon in the desert. This last one in November. A lot of various terrains. There was hill climbs. There was a lot of rocks. There was sand. There was just, stuff that was taking a lot of people out. They weren't ready to run on sand, which I had a sense okay, we're in the desert. It's going to be sandy. So in my training for that, I did run on the beach quite a bit. Just make sure the ankles, knees, everything are ready to know how to run on the sand.
Different
Like
world.
for Dan, for example, and Trey, both of them did 0 sand running, and they were like walking the sand sections just because their legs were just getting smoked. Like they didn't know how to run properly in the sand. You got to change your gait. You got to change how you're pumping your arms and everything. So that was an advantage. Was really looking to place in the top 25 for my age group, which is 35 to 39. Got in 14 or 13. I think it was 14. Is where I finished, which is pretty stoked on that. But yeah, for Big Bear, going for top 5 spot.
More importantly, you beat your cousin Trey.
Yeah, beat my cousin
and
who
Dan Ott.
Dan really didn't talk too much at all because he didn't really know what he was getting into. Trey had whooped me by like an hour and a half on the one last time, so he was going in max confidence, tons of smack talk, trying to say how he's gonna smoke me, and then I beat him by like 25 minutes. So that was pretty good.
Got him.
Yeah, got him.
So
But yeah,
some big
that's-
races ahead here.
Yeah, Big Bear, one of the harder courses in the country due to the elevation gain. We're literally going to be running up snow summit, ski runs all day. It's like up, down, over, up, down, over, up. So it's going to be steep.
And then do pull-ups in between
Yeah,
and
and
burpees
obstacles.
and freaking God knows what
The
else.
altitude is something I'm a little concerned about because it's hard to get to altitude training here at sea level. So I think I got to make a couple trips up before and just run up there just to at least feel it.
We got to go to Mammoth, dude.
You're right, yeah.
We got to get up
Dude.
there, get training here, seriously.
4 weeks out, we should just go to Mammoth so I could just get all the elevation gain dialed in.
Acclimate, dude, the whole thing.
Heck yeah.
On that note, I do hope that I can link up with one of our guys, hopefully watching, David Cropper. He's a long hair in Steamboat, Colorado. Just last
Sick.
year, a few months ago, I believe it was October, he cut and donated 13 inches, donated to children with hair loss. They're getting nuked out there with snow also. We actually linked up years ago on a trip to Steamboat, and he's been trying to get us to come out there for a little Colorado trip, so hopefully we could pull that one off.
Yeah.
It's probably right back in the thick of the awkward stage.
Sick and tight.
Both sick and tight.
I'm just reading our we have an outline here, guys. Just kind of checking in on it real quick. I feel like we've talked a lot about long mains and candy canes, but
yes, we did.
do you
In the
have
end of
any
year
final
podcast.
thoughts on that?
Just that it all came together, and it was an excellent culmination of the year. We had something around 80 friends, family, guests, long hairs come by. Seeing several long hairs drive from Los Angeles or wherever else who we had never met before. Fortunately, they knew the secret handshake and were able to greet us properly
And get
at the
in.
door and gain entry. But it was a great culmination to the year. And then the podcast that we did that last week, it was just really, really brought it all together, capped it off, and kind of goes back to what we were talking about where we were a year ago.
Yeah.
Packing up, getting ready to move into the new warehouse, whereas that kind of capped off that chapter. We're in here, we're set, we're going into the new year. It's given us a fresh start and momentum.
Yeah, and if we have some pretty good blog content that will link here in the description of that documented where we were last year. It's pretty funny. There's some hilarious posts. There's even a little mini podcast. And there's some videos and stuff, so we'll link that stuff up just so you could take a quick step back to 1 year ago and get a chuckle.
We were a world away. A year ago was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Just compared to where we are, what we were thinking about 1 year ago today.
Exactly.
Just,
thinking about buying $20,000 floor for this warehouse.
floors and paint, and we got to fix everything, and we got to get the core values on the wall.
Which
Finally,
Got it.
December.
done.
Got it.
All right, well, let's shift gears. Let's get to a little more some meat here from the community. We put out some questions yesterday, just prepping up here, and we got some really great stuff that we want to cover. So I'll just jump right into it. I'll ask the first question. This is coming from Ryan Padilla Fitness, who is actually a Zeta Kappa Sigma Nu bro and my little bro in the fraternity at Fresno State. Pretty awesome. Kind of had been disconnected for years, but he started growing his hair out, started going on his own path, his entrepreneurial way in the fitness industry and doing his thing, and reconnected through the Longhairs and, pretty awesome. But Ryan Padilla here asking excellent question, I think, and we could get into kind of our whole product lineup a little bit more because, as we know, there could be some confusion when you're looking at what to use or how to use, or this seems the same, or so let's get to this question here. Argan oil or leave-in conditioner for everyday use?
Great question. Great comment there that they're both hydrating, moisturizing products. So it may not be ultra clear on which, especially for everyday use.
Yeah.
This is a great question though, because while they are both hydrating and moisturizing, they do serve, I would say, different areas of your hair. So the argan oil is our hair serum. That's daily use for me in my routine. And that's going to be on about the last 3 inches of my hair. Mm-hmm. And I'm doing that on a daily basis, using it to comb it out, comb through the rest of the tangles, etc. It keeps the tips a little bit more healthy and protected from damage that's already the most damaged part of your hair. The leave-in conditioner is more designed for the tips as well, but more for the lengths of your mane. So
Sean. Shit, sorry.
We got someone at the door here.
Yeah, someone's at the door.
We got a big delivery here. At any rate, the leave-in conditioner is going to be more for the lengths all the way down through the tips. I don't know if I would use it as a daily use product unless you have especially dry hair or you are sustaining a lot of damage. If you were surfing every day, for example, after you rinse with fresh water, you could get a little bit of leave-in conditioner there. That would be a good treatment after surfing. But generally speaking, I would say the argan oil hair serum on the daily with a leave-in conditioner every other day, every few days, or anytime you need that little extra burst of hydration.
Yep. Excellent answer there. Have you been using them regularly together, though?
Yes. Even when I do the leave-in conditioner, I will still do a little bit of argan oil. I might go a little bit lighter on the argan oil at the tips, but they definitely work well in combination because the hair serum really focuses in on the tips. The
shield almost.
Yeah, it is kind of, because that's what's blowing the most. That's what's getting caught and stuff. You want that little extra layer on there for protection in addition to the moisture benefits that you get from it.
Yeah. I mean, I got nothing to add there. That was nailed. I guess just pick your scent wisely when it comes to the argan oil, right?
Yeah, definitely. Nothing wrong with using it every day. I mean, it is my go-to, literally.
Yeah.
And then, actually, just one more. What I've been doing with the leave-in conditioner is I don't necessarily want to do it when I'm washing my hair every time, but I could just get a little spray bottle with water in it and just get my hair damp. And because the leave-in conditioner is a little bit thinner formula, you can get it in there a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Just that little bit of dampness kind of helps the cuticles open up and suck that moisture into it a little bit more.
Smart. Someone did ask this since we're on the leave-in conditioner, but putting the leave-in conditioner in a spray bottle and diluting it with water and then spraying it on your hair.
I thought about that also,
or
kind of what I was just talking about, spraying with water first. I don't know about diluting it with water.
It's pretty thick, right? It'd be tough.
There are sprayers that have a higher size molecule that they spray out.
Porous or whatever the hell it's called.
Yes. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but you could find a sprayer that's designed for thicker fluids and liquids, and that would probably work. I don't know if I would dilute it with water. I mean, you could give it a try, see how it works for you.
Yeah.
But find one of those sprayers that gets a bigger molecules out there, and you could give it a try. Cool. Hey, maybe that might even try it. If you have the marine layer, you could just rinse it out and drop it in there and give it a shot. Yeah. I think it's potentially would be a really nice way for application.
And maybe just like a quick. It's kind of a quick, I just want a quick blast here. I don't want to
get
be
my
working
hair wet
it in and doing all that.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Cool. Okay, let's. This one's pretty funny. We're just gonna go down the line here. You are very familiar with this guy, but it's Cower Kid 13 calling you out. El Rubio golf rematch when I come out to the West Coast for the Great Cut.
Christian Cower, dude, absolutely. Of course, we played out in Virginia 2 summers ago, and man, we just both had a fall apart type of a round. So it was not that competitive, I'll be honest. But it was great. We had a blast. He drove like 3 hours to come and meet me and Tim Neal. We were smashing it out there. Had a freaking blast. The answer is yes. The full-blown West Coast rematch. And to that end, I mean, we probably got to get some kind of golf activity.
Yeah, I was just gonna say mini tournament
for the early arrivals.
Yeah,
have a golf entry, maybe a little scramble format, or who knows.
That would be sweet.
We got to get some little golf element. Actually, it could be
Get
a
a course.
fundraiser, part of the fundraising effort too.
Yeah, there we go.
Let's just throw a golf tournament on top of the rest of the Great Cut. Why not?
Yeah. Okay. You heard it, guys. Golf tournament going down. Get your swings dialed because it's happening.
Yes, get your reps in.
The morning of the event.
Just do a quick 6 a.m. 18.
Yeah, we can make it over by 10:30.
And head over to the venue, do some hair cutting, call it a day.
Okay, let's keep going here. We got the mountains are texting, which is a very fitting handle there. Can't believe you don't have that one.
A play off the famous line, the mountains are calling. Yes, kind of been cliched and overused, but now today's day and age, the mountains are texting.
Yeah. So, guys, dealing with frizz, and the question is, how do I get rid of the frizz, yo? Well, I guess it first depends what your hair type is and what kind of frizz you're dealing with, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody's got a different level of frizz, so we don't know exactly what this guy's dealing with.
I was immediately thinking, does he have curly hair?
Right.
Is it immediately after washing? I mean, that's one that I can address, and several of our products are really good for frizz. Frizz occurs when your hair is dry and we have excess friction or static electricity in your hair. So
and it's coming up, right? It's coming like off the rest of the hair.
Yes. And sometimes, like you mentioned earlier, especially when using power clean, when your hair is especially clean and it's so light and airy that it kind of will frizz up a little bit.
Right.
So one is keeping your hair especially moisturized is going to be your number one bet. But what I have found lately is when I do get that, especially I even did this morning, is a couple of pumps of the marine layer.
Yeah.
And it gives it just, it's not like
Locks
getting
it
it
in.
dirty again. It's just a couple of, I did like 3 or 4 on each side, and it just kind of tames that frizz that is flying and all over the place and just tamps it down a little bit. And it's like freaking boom.
Good to go.
Done.
So check out Sea Salt Spray. We recommend ours, Marine Layer, which you can find at thelonghairs.us.
Yes.
Under hair care.
And we have several articles on frizz and
Yeah.
different types of frizz, whether it's curly. If you have super curly hair, that's a different.
Totally.
Don't be. If you brush through, you're going to be frizz
You
master.
might need to go a mousse route if you're super curly like Sergio does or something.
Yes. So, again, goes back to reorganizing the blog post, or the blog, so it's easier to find topics on frizz. Put that on our topical map.
Yeah.
We'll link some of those up or make them more available and visible.
Totally. Tomo_TF. Did the awkward stage of growing your hair stop you from socializing? I'll go ahead and kick this one off. No, absolutely not. I mean, that's just me personally. I'm pretty outgoing. I also got some introvert into me too. But my take on this while you're going through the awkward stage, let's use a social thing that maybe you would be concerned about with having awkward stage hair, like going on a date with a new girl or something, and your hair, like, you got nothing at this point, really. I mean, you could slick it back. You could go to some of the go-to moves. You don't want to wear a hat or beanie. So you just got to kind of just rock it with confidence, right? And that's what you just have to do through the awkward stage. It's a painful phase, but just like anything in life that's, worth getting to and achieving something, you're going to go through trials. You're going to go through hard stuff. So don't put off your regular life, the regular things you're going to do, just because you think you look a little funky or something. No, those situations are going to make you stronger. They're going to make you more confident. They're going to, allow for you to make a little fun of yourself because you have a chance to then bring it up in conversation or, whatever. So, don't let it stop you, and just keep doing what you're doing. Is kind of my response there.
Yeah, don't let it slow you down.
Yeah.
If you're using that example, you think about it tactically also on the date example.
Yeah.
Choose a date spot that's a little more casual, the pizzeria or something where you could actually wear a hat or a beanie or do some other tactics versus like a fine dining experience where you're expected to not have a hat on and you have to do something.
Yeah, maybe save that for the second date.
Yeah, for sure. Once you got the charisma and your charm and your witty disposition established.
And also, if we're still talking about, date scenario here, like girls often don't care the looks and maybe when they first look at you, they're like, God, that guy's hair is a little funky, but they really don't care as long as you are a solid dude and you kind of check all their other boxes. I mean, the looks is lower on the girls' level than it is for guys, for example.
Absolutely. If you're confident, I think the confidence level. Yeah. If you're confident in yourself,
it doesn't.
That's
matter.
going to just come off of you. It's a non-issue.
It does not matter what your hair looks like at that point. 100%.
So do not stop socializing.
Get out there, man.
Clear answer. Yeah.
You're going to learn a lot about yourself. All right. 5 foot, 20 inches moose. Believe this is El Monte. Little story here. I'll let you tell it, but he does ask a question. Will you guys need local security and logistics for the 2023 Children with Hair Loss Charity Ball? Great question.
Absolutely, yes. We're going to need you there, El Monte, big time. We've mentioned it, I think, before, but we went to the Children with Hair Loss Charity Ball back in November, first Saturday of every November in Michigan. And El Monte, longtime member of the community, follower, been on board since early on, drove up 2.5 or 3 hours one way to go to the charity ball with us. He went the next day to the Lions-Packers game, just spent the weekend with us, came up, hung out. He was not officially security, but he's 6'7", so everyone at the charity ball just kind of assumed he was our guy, and it was awesome.
It's our inside joke all night.
Yes.
It was great. Well, not really inside because we were telling everybody. Meet our head of
security detail.
Security detail.
Freaking awesome. Yeah. He knows the secret handshake.
El Monte, shout out, man. It was great hanging with you. Can't wait to see you again.
And that's already 3 examples of long hairs that we've just met and connected with in our travels. David Cropper, Christian Cower, El Monte, and there have been many, many others. If we happen to be out somewhere, that's pretty much one of the funnest things about it is catching long hairs in the wild. Totally.
And speaking to the previous question about socializing, dude, when you're out there in the wild, whatever you're doing, and you see another guy with long hair, you should go just say what's up or just be like, dude, sick flow or just anything, because you never know. You guys could hit it off right there and go and be buds. It's worth the 10 seconds it takes to go do it.
Yes. And if you have a referral card on your person, that just opens the door for you. It makes it that one step easier.
All right. Kicking over to some of the YouTube questions here. Looking at Taco Man. He's got some good ones. We're gonna dig into a few of these here. I think they're relevant for a lot of people. So this guy washes his hair pretty much every day. So I'm assuming he must work a lot or work in some kind of field where he's getting pretty dirty. I've heard this can damage your hair, but mine has a nice amount of oil by the time I shower. Is my scalp trying to compensate for being dry, or could it be that I'm an outlier? Would dry shampoo help to keep my hair clean but not remove the oils?
Great question from Taco Man.
Yeah.
Big taco guy here, as a matter of fact. Really could be either one. it could very well be true that by washing every day, you're conditioning your scalp to need to produce more sebum in the natural oil that your scalp produces. Washing it every day, your scalp's trying to keep up. Like, man, we got to get some oil back producing here. It gets on a heavy oil producing regimen. It could also be that you're an outlier and that you have just extra oily hair if it's oily by the end of the day every day. But really, it could be a combination of both, and it'd be worthwhile to see what it's like. Try a few weeks with every other day. Dial it back incrementally to every other day, and then try every third day.
Yeah.
And see if you notice any changes by how oily your hair is. Now, on the days that you're not washing, that's when you should be doing your normal daily routine, which is going to be detangling and brushing, especially if you have straighter hair. If you have super curly hair, which can't tell here necessarily, you don't want to be brushing so much, but for guys like us with straight hair, brushing every day distributes some of that oil that my scalp is producing all the way through the ends of my hair. And it's really it's a detangling and a cleansing process. The brushing is because it breaks that stuff up on your scalp, gives it a nice massage, keeps the oils producing, but hopefully at a level where it's not trying to over max produce.
Right.
The second part of his question, would dry shampoo help keep your hair clean but not remove the oils? It's kind of the opposite of that. It is going to
absorb those oils.
It's going to absorb and suck the oils out of your hair, which is, when we say dry shampoo, that's what we mean, is it's taking the oils out of your hair. It's not technically shampoo. It's not a cleanser. It's an absorbing powder. So it'd be worth giving it a try. If you're washing every day and you want to try to dial it back, you could use the dry shampoo to pull the oil. But if that is what you're experiencing, that your scalp is overproducing, then the dry, it's going to be kind of the same. It's going to keep overproducing because whether you've cleansed it out or sucked it all out of your hair, the scalp is going to say, okay, we got to keep producing here.
Totally.
So try some different things.
Clarifying shampoo too. You should try clarifying shampoo. That could buy you several days, but making sure you're brushing every night. Hey, you brush your teeth, just brush your hair too.
Yep.
This one's interesting, but kind of getting into the professional setting here. So the hair on the top of his head is a high ponytail, about 1 year of growth, but the hair on the side and most of the bottom back is yet long enough to join. Do you have any tips to look decent on hairstyles in case I got to do an interview or dress nicely? Hats and beanies won't really work in a professional setting. Hair ties can work, but again, he kind of feels like maybe not so right in the professional setting. And gel, way too much gel is required. That's pretty funny.
I said here, hats and beanies don't really work because my hair's volume slowly pushes them up regardless of how tight. I know that feeling, or a head wrap sometimes too, just over a few minutes or an hour, and all of a sudden just rising. Hard to say just from writing. I'll definitely refer to men's long hairstyles, our blog post that has just a whole bunch of different combinations of styles. It sounds like you have mostly longer on the top, but not quite long enough on the sides. There's something like the Brave where you can actually tie just the top up.
Yeah.
Depending on how long the sides are, I don't know. Gel, far too much gel would be required.
Kind of at this sounds like the phase he's in. You just got to ride it out. Like you got to get the side length kind of caught up to where you could tie it all together. So yeah, kind of the middle part, I guess, is like middle part to like slick back on the sides could work there because you got the top longer, so it'll go over the shorter stuff on the sides and you kind of push it all back. Probably want to use something like marine layer, maybe even some hairspray or something. I feel you on the gel. Just stay away from the gel. Or you could use some like paste, you know?
Sure, some balm type.
Balm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm with you on avoiding the gel.
Yeah.
You were featured in a great blog post, Awkward Stage Hairstyles, which demonstrates, I want to say, 6 or 8 different
some options.
May or may not work exactly for your hair, but at least give you some inspiration, some thought pattern.
Something to try.
For sure.
Totally.
Not trying to do too much with it. Going into a job interview situation, i.e. the gel, like trying to slick it all back. I mean, just that's going to be a trying too hard situation.
Because then, you're not going to rock that every day. If they hire you, or you slick it back every day now.
No. Now you're going through gel.
Hey, something though, while we're
slope.
on the interview side, if you are, growing your hair out and you feel, or let's say they ask you about it, like, hey, what's the deal with your hair? Or if they don't, maybe, and you want to grow it out, that's a great time to actively, bring it up to them. Hey, I want to let you know I'm growing my hair out. I want long hair. I want to participate in this event, the Great Cut. And is that going to be a problem for you guys?
Great chance to bring it up proactively.
Yeah.
Is there a grooming policy? Figure out kind of what's the lay of the land sort of a thing.
Yeah.
But then it definitely gives you an opportunity if you are going to cut it and, join in the Great Cut or donate in any fashion to bring that forward. So I'm growing it out for this purpose and it's important to me.
Then you get the company behind it.
Is the company have any community-driven aspects to it that would fit in line with what I'm trying to do? And then that becomes a question that shows interest and that you care about other things. And I could roll right into you being the banner bearer for the company's community outreach efforts.
All of a sudden, you're the CEO. Okay, this is a good one. We just recently made a blog about this, but I got a hair tie from you guys a while back. Looks great, but wondered, how do I clean it without damaging the elasticity? Hand wash, or can I toss it in the wash machine? Just let it air dry? Great questions, which are all answered in how to clean your hair ties. So for the quick answer is yes, hand wash is fantastic, but let's say you got 10 or 12 hair ties that you want to use, put them in some type of cloth bag, something that or even a sock works. Throw all the hair ties in there and then throw it in the old wash there. And you can put them in the dryer on low heat. Wouldn't recommend it though. But if you're in a pinch and you want to dry them off quick, I mean, they do dry off quick. It probably have to be in there for 10 minutes. But air dry is going to be your best bet.
Still in whatever bag you wash it in.
Yeah.
Or sock.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Keep it in that while you're doing if you throw it in the dryer on a low temp. But air dry is definitely the recommended way to go with the drying. Now, you're not going to get like full elasticity back. But we have found that it tends to bring a little bit of it contracts some of the elasticity when you wash them. So they're not going to be back like they're brand new or anything. But you might notice if you have a hair tie that's your go-to, you'd be like, oh, wow, I got a little more pop here.
Brought it back.
And I'm not saying that's going to last, forever there. It might have that for a couple days, but it's going to go back to its normal kind of stretched length depending on how old that hair tie is.
Great innovative blog post.
Yeah.
Last year.
Had to get one out that week.
How to clean your hair ties.
Yeah.
Well documented, well executed.
How does one wash their hair without tugging and pulling it like crazy? I have thick, wavy hair. So I kind of see what he's saying here. Like he's trying to get in there, but it's wrapping around his fingers. Feels like he's tugging it and pulling it and stuff. I mean, my go-to is like, you got to get the fingertips in, approach it more of a massage versus trying to like do one of these numbers where you're just running your hands through your hair,
Yes. I would just going in.
The claw,
exactly. Instead of like this, flat hands, I feel like that's going to be pulling and tugging. He has more wavy, perhaps voluminous flow.
Yeah.
But just going straight in with the claw, doing the massage on the scalp and then straight out versus, doing the full palm or the full hands and fingers. Things are going to start to get tangled up quite a bit. You don't need to rub the hair necessarily on itself as much as you want to get down into the scalp. They do also have a little scalp massager that we've been testing out to wash your hair with. It has kind of little cones, rubber, some kind of soft material. Same concept. It's like you're getting in there, you're massaging the scalp. So try not to mess with your hair as much while you're doing it and focus more. You don't need to get all the length either. Is really just focus right in there.
Yep. Love it.
You're dialed.
Great response there. Okay, let's see here. This will be the last one for our Q&A. Does one eventually get used to having hair in your face? Because I get annoyed with my hair pretty often, and I don't always have a headband or hair tie on my person. I mean, look, it just goes with having long hair, man, and you just can't control the elements. If you have your hair down, and it's windy, it's coming in your face, going in your eyes. It's gonna be a nuisance. If you got a beard, could tend to hook on there. So yeah, it's just part of being a long hair. You deal with it. You figure out how to mitigate it best, and you know that I really only feel like that's a problem for me when I just rock my hair down, or if I'm coming off some fresh wash. I got some of those frizzies hanging out there and I tie it up, but it's like the forehead ones are like kind of coming down on your forehead and crap. Those are annoying as hell, especially if you're trying to work out and forget a head wrap. That's pretty much the worst.
Yeah.
Dealing with your hair up. So yeah, no, it's a constant problem and just figure it out on your own, really. There's no good answer, right?
No great answer. I mean, you and I are both kind of hat guy. I wear a hat almost every day or a beanie, and that mitigates it at least enough so it's not in the immediate eye vicinity. It could still blow up and stuff. Being in situations where I am wearing my hair down and it's not tied up and I don't have a hat or anything, it's just kind of a nightmare. It makes me empathetic for women who wear their hair down every day for their entire lives and just somehow deal with it.
Yeah. The facial hair makes it worse, though, because it attaches to it. All right. Excellent Q&A there, guys. Everybody who sent those in, thank you. Hopefully we gave you the response you need to do the things you got to do. Okay. Now, we've touched on it here. I guess it's time to get a little bit deeper. It's on our minds. It's on your minds out there. It's visible in the not-so-distant horizon. It's creeping ever closer. It's like the Colorado River, whether you're thinking about it or not, whether you're sleeping, whether you're eating, skiing, whatever you're doing, the river is flowing. The Great Cut 2024 is getting one day closer every day. Actually, every minute.
Colorado River analogy, I don't know. Just remember it, seeing the Grand Canyon. We're recording a podcast. It's flowing.
Yeah.
The Great Cut 2024 is coming closer every day.
Yep. And
we talked about it a little bit earlier this week in our meeting. Just what's on your mind?
I mean, I'm pumped. I was kind of nervous like 6 months ago and kind of stressing about it and stuff and just kind of where we were and what was going on. I was like, I don't know if it's smart for us to put the time into doing this with all the other stuff we got to do. But that's kind of changed my perspective and attitude on that. And I feel like we can pull it off. We're not in a situation like we were last year. We got a lot of blueprints. We got a lot of what worked. We know how to do it now. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the lift is far less. Still a big lift, don't get me wrong. And here's the problem, like we're going to add to it. I already know. Like the golf tournament, for example. So we are going to probably make it harder than it needs to be, really. But maybe we think about that too and be like, hey, do we really need to do this? What's the real bonus here? But I like the golf tournament, so I think we should definitely add that one in. So yeah, I mean, we have some early target here, which is on the 1 year anniversary out from 2024. It's kind of the kickoff day. It's kind of our deadline of like the stuff. A lot of the pieces need to be in place here that we could build on for the rest of the 1 year term. So I'm just excited to get that piece done. I feel like once we get that piece done, we're going to have a lot more confidence moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed.
Yeah.
So having, the website,
yeah,
we have a nice website. You could go on there. You could
right.
get on the interest list right now. You could get some general information. The date is published March 16th, 2024. There's a fair bit of stuff out there compared to the last Great Cut. monumentally more than what we had. But being in a better position where we might not have ticket sales available, we talked about just yet, but more clear information, a more clear sign up, where it's not just the email list. Maybe it's a firm commitment at this point, maybe not, but just having a little bit more traction in that, having the financial piece of the Great Cut sorted out, having the bank account set up properly. We will start also selling our current apparel, which is the T-shirts and some other items for the Great Cut through the Great Cut website versus just the longhairs.us, and just having some of those foundational pieces in place give us momentum with 1 year to go.
And there could be some new memorabilia / merchandise that'll be available for the Great Cut. People want to have some coffee cups.
Yes.
I heard.
Got to have the coffee mug. We got to find the bigger ones, though. Just a little regular size coffee cup. Just not going to cut it for me. I needed an XL.
The big boys.
I think what I'm most encouraged about is just seeing how many people already know about it, are already planning for it, or are already committed to it. We see the T-shirt sales for the Great Cut T-shirts. We've hundreds. I mean, hundreds.
In the last few years,
So that alone means that those hundreds of people know about it, plan to participate, or at least support from afar in some way or another.
They have that reminder. They're looking at it when they put it on in the mirror. Every time they grab for that shirt, they're thinking about the Great Cut.
We did not have that last time.
No.
Suffice to say, very few people knew about it. We were still formulating in our minds.
We knew about it. That's pretty much it.
We knew about it, and we only kind of knew about it.
We were forming it day by day.
I think one of the things I'm most excited about for the Great Cut 2024 is having the people come. And we've already mentioned a few of the guys that we've met out there in different places, and it's a chance for people to come to San Diego who have not visited the headquarters. We've never met in person. They maybe have been part of the Longhairs community for a long time, and that's our moment to actually be face to face, mano y mano, hair to hair,
and have a space that we can have everybody at. That's huge. Like, we had to use Thorn Street last year, which really, I mean, it was great. It worked out fine, but it wasn't open like this. That place was pretty small, confined. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be so great, and we'll have our space. Kind of like we did for Long Mains and Candy Canes. Will be like set up specific for the Great Cut pre-meetup. Everybody should, maybe we could do like an early pickup of your packets and stuff.
Yes.
And they could cut, if you do a marathon or something, you check in the day before.
Yes.
And you get your number and all your stuff. Like, we could do something like that.
Absolutely.
That would be killer. That would actually help the day of, because we get out a bunch of it's relieved.
Yes. Oh, man. Very much like the marathon idea, and the other business, our sponsors and our supporters, and you get a chance to meet. Just getting a chance to meet everyone and an opportunity to come out to San Diego. And we should say, even if you do not cut your hair, it's not required to come. But just the experience of the event, of being here, hanging out together, getting to meet in person, meeting hundreds of, maybe thousands of other Longhairs supporters, the children themselves, the recipients, children with hair loss, brought 10 of their staff last time. I'm sure they'll bring the full contingent this time around. And it really is the hallmark community event that the Longhairs is responsible for, that we have an opportunity to pull off.
Yep. And we're excited for it. And I know so many of you are excited for it. We're going to deliver. We could promise you that. Well, I think that's it for this show. You got any final things? You want to close us out?
I think we nailed it, man. Just pumped to be here. Pumped to get out for some more snow. Juiced up to see what the Longhairs and our team can do this year. We have an outstanding team. We got our media producer, El Garvinsky, making us look and sound sharp today.
Always having fun with it as well.
Yeah.
and just setting our sights and seeing what we could pull off this year.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I think that caps this one off.
Good hanging with your partner. What do you say? And don't forget to get the Longhairs secret handshake. Hit the link in the description below, because we are going to see you and we are going to expect that you know it.
If we put the hand out and you don't respond, bro.
Oh, man. It's going to be instant downer. It's going to ruin everyone's day.
Yeah.
So don't be that guy. Hey, good hanging, partner.
Yeah, great talk.
Let's get after it.
Let's go. Back to work, boys.